Assalamualaikum. Reminder ko po, gusto ni Chairman na malaman sino-sino yung mag-attend today. Pakisulat lang po ng complete details sa chat box, pangalan niyo po, yung leader and yung location. Salamat.
Buong Mindanao.
State and then location.
Kung maaari po, pakisulat na rin yung estimated number ng nasa baba nyo po. Ilang women po sa under your command or under your leadership po. For example, kung from let me see sa chat ha. For example, Auntie Sandra, ilan po yung women under you? And then yung Camp Musa, lano daw sa ilang women under you. Si Ustad Salim Abdulaziz, ilang women po under you. Kasi ito po yung mga documentation at reporting na mangyayari after ng meeting natin, direct po kay Maas.
Lower Sabangan. Lower Sabangan.
Ilan ang kwan? Kay Ruina. Tawagan mo nga.
Ay, yung pasi, Sultan Kudarat.
Yung pasi. Hindi na. Sultan Kudarat na yun. Ilan ang babae doon? Including. Wika. Agusan. Pagadian, 600 plus. 600
mga kababaihan lang po, meaning ilan ang kababaihan under your command, under your leadership, or under your direct line po. Inshallah. Pakisulat po after, sabihin nyo yung pangalan ng leader, the representative today, location, kung saan, pangalan ng camp, if any, or community. And then, ilan ang estimated number ng women under nyo po. We'll start in 1 minute, inshallah.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum, Inda.
Waalaikumsalam
Ito po ay galing sa Lower Sabangan ko sa Visit Revolutionary Committee under sa leadership po ni Johnny Sugagil Alhaj.
Mashallah, welcome po, ma'am.
Assalamualaikum, Ustaz Untitled. Sandra Salabi from Sambuanga City. From Sambuanga City.
Maununo, auntie.
Alhamdulillah, waiting for you.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Inshallah, I will start now. May house rules lang po tayo para smooth yung presentation natin. Kindly mute your mic. Mamaya po, after ng presentation, may open forum po tayo. So kung may mga questions po kayo, you can take note and then later on po, tatanungin natin para hindi ma-disrupt yung flow ng presentation. Second, recorded po ang meeting natin. So I hope we are all aware na may documentation po tayo. para recorded po at kung ma-edit na po yung presentation, we can share it sa mga hindi naka-attend today. At ito po ay para madali yung re-echoing ninyo sa inyong communities. Okay? And third, inshallah, lahat ng pag-usapan natin, lahat ng mga lahat ng i-present po today, this has been vetted, this has been approved by the chairman. So ito po ay general re-echoing ng activity natin sa Lake Cebu 2 weeks ago. Okay, so more on that in a few minutes, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We will be muting your mics po, and I will start now, inshallah.
I-mute na. Para ma...
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to the general re-echoing of the MNLF National Women's Committee for the strategic planning workshop that happened last June 28 to July 2 in Lake Cebu, South Cotabato. May I present to you the agenda for today? First, after the meeting, after the workshop, nag-report po kami kay Chairman on the said activity. In that report, nakalagay po yung lahat ng sessions, lahat ng inputs from the community consultations na naisumitin po ninyo, at ano yung mga next steps or recommendations for the MNLF National Women's Committee. Second po, may mga updates tayo sa mga women natin leaders na pagkatapos nilang nag-participate, bumalik po sila sa kanilang mga communities at nag-re-echo na rin po sila. Third, ito po yung updates on the National Women's Committee National IDs. Baka may mga tanong po kayo, at least clear po yung lahat ng instructions ni Chairman tungkol po dito. And number 4, i-review po natin yung roadmap of MNLF Women's Project na we are doing in partnership with the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process. And then ang last po, ano po yung next steps? Before I begin, I would like to also introduce myself. Yung pangalan ko po is Nur-Ainee Lim. Ako po yung 6th child ni Maas from his wife, the late Desdemona Tan. continue. So first, yung chairman's response. Pagkatapos po ng activity, the first thing we did was to inform the MAAS. Pinakita po namin yung mga certificates signed by Secretary Galvez, yung secretary ng OPAP. Tapos pinakita po namin yung mga pictures. But more importantly po, pinakita namin yung mga achievements ng ating mga kababaihan. Lahat po silang 20 participants from all over Mindanao, including the island provinces. May mga representatives po tayo doon. As much as we wanted to invite everyone, dahil po sa pandemya, may mga protocols in place na nililimit po yung number of participants. So, I hope you understand, kaya nagre-re-echo po kami para mas marami po yung parang makaka-experience kung anong nangyari 2 weeks ago. So after we reported, ang sabi niya po ay in-advise niya kami to continue our activities. Siya ay nagagalak sa ating active engagement at positive relationship between our organization, the OPAP, and of course the Office of the President. He encouraged us to actively organize and reactivate the National Women's Committee, MNLF National Women's Committee. So, next. Ito po yung design ng graphic design ng aming activity. If you notice po, it's a joint undertaking of the GPH MNLF Peace Coordinating Committee. Update ko lang din po kayo, being the head secretariat of the MNLF Peace Coordinating Committee, continuous po yung engagement natin at the level of the national level po. So yung GPH MNLF Peace Coordinating Committee ay pinatayo ni Presidente through an executive order para mag-coordinate ng mga issues related to the MNLF. So, yung GPH panel, yung chairman nila ay si Secretary Galvez. Yung sa atin naman po is Chairman Nur-Ainee. Under this committee, may 4 na subcommittees. Socio-economic, security, peace and reconciliation, at confidence building. July 15, 2021 po, nag-appoint na po si MAAS ng heads, deputies, and admins for these committees. Next. Ito po yung mga participants natin from all 5 provinces, Solo, Sulu, Basilan, Tawi-Tawi, couldn't make it dahil may nag-positive po sa kanila, but they were able to attend via Zoom. Tapos meron din po from Maguindanao, Cotabato, Lanao del Sur. Next. So yan po yung some of the pictures during the activity. Yung mga, wag mo na, go back. Just to inform everyone, yung mga nag-attend po sa activity from the OPAP side ay si Director Jana Gallardo, yung head ng MNLF Concerns Department from the OPAP. Tapos si Director May Baliena, head ng Knowledge Information Systems nila. Si Ma'am Marcel Aguilar from UN Women, and also si Ma'am Vanessa Palyarco, isang director po rin ng OPAP. So yung si Director Jana and Director Van and Ma'am Marcel, they joined via VTC and the rest joined us on site. So ano po yung result ng aming pagpupulong-pulong? Remember, lahat were representatives. So they were representing lahat ng communities on the ground. So kahit hindi po lahat nandun in spirit, in essence, we wanted to get feedback from all of you. So kahit hindi po kayo yung nandun, yung importante po ay nasimulan na. At inshallah, marami pa pong panahon at marami pa pong opportunities na makapagkita-kita po tayo. I hope, inshallah, we have to keep asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala na yung pandemya na ito ay matatapos na para madali na lang po tayo magpulong-pulong muli. So, ito po yung vision. A united, peaceful, just, resilient, and inclusive hula, bangsa, agama. Ito po ay vision for our future. We came up with this thinking about the vision of the MNLF, the vision of the chairman, the vision of every single founder, every single martyr, every single widow, every single man, woman that ascribed to this vision since 1968. So ang women po, hindi siya sariling organization. It is a committee under the banner of the Moro National Liberation Front. Inalign po natin yung vision natin as women kung paano po natin ma-achieve from this sector, paano po natin ma-achieve ang overall vision ng MNLF. Ang ating mission po naman is we empower women to build peace and sustainable development in our communities. And when we say communities, hindi po siya limited to just 5 provinces. When we say Moro National Liberation Front, we have our clusters in Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. So we aim to focus and concentrate on priority areas, but at the same time, we can also start organizing po ang ating mga kababaihan from all over the country. Ano po naman ang aming goals? Ang ating goals po as a collective, first, these are just 5-year goals po. Okay, we'll work towards this. So 100% of MNLF women members are identified and officially registered sa ating MNLF Central Database. May bagong database po tayo exclusively for women. Second, mag-e-establish po tayo ng well-organized, systematic at bridging leadership and management within the MNLF National Women's Committee. 3, dapat po makamit natin ang self-sufficiency as an organization through effective resource mobilization mechanisms. Number 4, gagawin po natin ang mag-build at maintain equitable partnerships with stakeholders invested in sustainable development. Pag sinasabi po nating sustainable development, hindi po siya yung short-term, hindi po siya yung one-time dole-out. Hahanap po tayo ng systemic solutions upang generational po yung impact ng ating mga interventions. And finally, mag-establish po tayo ng women representation and involvement in all community, security, and mediation mechanisms. Papalawakin po natin ang roles ng ating mga kababaihan, especially sa ating mga komunidad at ang ating mga local units, inshallah. So updates po regarding the national ID. Ang record maas ay ang lahat ng kababaihan ay kailangan ng kumuha ng ID. At ang national ID po ay also recognized by the Central Committee. Iisang ID lang po. Iisang ID lang po. Ito po yung bagong form. May nakalagay na National Women's Committee sa taas At nandyan po yung lahat ng impormasyon na kailangan po natin upang kumuha ng ID. Ito po ang napaka-importanteng first step. Kung mare-recognize na po natin kung sino yung mga miyembro, madali na lang po tayong mag-organize. Madali na lang po tayo mag-identify anong communities at ano ang kailangan po nila. Sa second page po naman, nandyan yung instructions kung paano magsumite, kung sino ang tatawagan, paano magpapadala ng payment para po to cover the cost of reproducing the ID. Part of the proceeds po ng ID cost ay mapupunta sa MNLF National Women's Committee Fund. Ito po ang magiging seed funding natin upang mag-start na tayo ng sarili nating programa sa ating mga communities. Next. Isasend lang po sa chat box mamaya ang back po. Ang link para ma-download nyo po ang form na ito. So hindi ko po iisa-isahin ito. Gusto ko lang po mag-report sa inyo na na-approve na po ni MAS ang document na ito. So we'll just go through this. Ito po ang consolidated, summarized at detailed na rin na strategic plan for the women. Next. So ano po yung recommendations? Approve po ni Chairman. First, i-continue po natin ang engagement natin with OPAP for this women's project. Second, i-reactivate na po natin ang mga women leaders natin and put internal and external systems in place. Aayusin po natin ang internal at magpa-partner po tayo with external entities. Third, mag-e-establish na po tayo ng separate registration system for MNLF women. That also serves as a national ID. Fourth, kailangan na po nating mag-raise awareness for voters registration. Yung second step po after kunin natin ang MNLF National ID, kung hindi pa po tayo nakaregister sa COMELEC, mag-register na po tayo. Number 5, work on establishing linkages and partnerships with local and international organizations. Alam naman po natin ang MNLF ay hindi pang local lamang. May national and international persona po ang ating organisasyon. Gusto lang po namin i-recognize yung mga efforts ng ating mga women leaders on the ground na hindi napapagod. Right after ng aming seminar, nag-re-echo agad sila sa kanilang mga communities. Ayan po yung mga active na mga women leaders po natin na walang sawang nagpo-push ng agenda ng ating parhimpunan. Lahat po ng sinasubmit nila sa amin, pino-forward po namin kay Maas. Whenever he sees pictures na active tayo, he's very happy po. Just go. Diyan po si Chairman Kaid. He expressed his happiness din po sa ating mga initiatives at nag-re-echo ang 19 municipalities ng Holo po. Ayan po sila. So yun po yung mga documentation ng ating mga women leaders on the ground. I-echo po sa kanilang mga communities. Bukas na naman po may mga sa Jensan, Tawi-Tawi. So alhamdulillah po, kinakascade nila po the same information na i-cascade po natin today. We will make the video recording available po para magamit nyo po sa inyong mga re-echoing sessions, inshallah. Yung link naman po for the national ID ay isasend din po namin through the chat box. Kung may mga groups po na hindi namin na-present, paumanhin po. Pero yan po yung mga pictures. Nandyan din po si State Chairman Monk. Nag-organize din po sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Davao Peninsula. Yung Gadungan State din po, nag-re-echo na rin daw po, mashallah, napaka-active po. So, may infographic po kami na i-prepare para madali lang po natin i-cascade sa ating mga communities ano yung next steps. So, please wait until i-present po ng ating host. Okay. So we'll end with that, pero before we do, gusto po namin i-present sa inyo ang video ni Chairman Maas about women and our current engagement with the OPAP. It's an 18-minute video po na i-show po namin ngayon. And at the end, ipapakita po namin ang infographic para madali niyong i-cascade sa inyong mga community ano po ang next steps.
Bini ka. Does it work? On ka rin okay?
First of all,
Yeah, why?
one should bear in mind that the MNLF and the Bangsamoro struggle were not intended for any specific sector of our population. Each vision is rather generic, encompassing both sexes and not only the old but as well as the young.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Parang may technical issues po kami. Hindi na daw marinig yung recording? Or is it just a signal issue na individual? Pakisabi po sa chat kung naririnig nyo po or it's just depende sa di marinig. Okay. Okay, isa-send ko na lang po yung link dyan. Okay, wait lang. Isa-send ko po sa chat box. Yan po yung video. Okay, ganito. Since hindi ma-play ni Zoom with sound, nandyan po yung YouTube video. Okay? Yan po yung pwede nyong i-send or ipapakita po sa inyong community. You can watch it after ng meeting natin, if that is okay with you. Okay? So, I hope that is fine. And finally, isa-send ko po sa inyo ngayon ang infographic. Wait lang po. Yung infographic ay isang page lang po and maaari nyo po i-reproduce at ipakita sa inyong community. So this is how it looks like. Sa taas, nakikita nyo po ba? Paki-confirm lang po sa chat box. May picture po ba kayo nakikita? Okay. So yung first step po ay first, nandito po sa taas yung logo natin. National Women's Committee, may logo po tayo pero ginagawa pa. Pero for now, nagamit natin ang general logo pa ng MNLF. Our vision, nandito na. Our mission and goals. Tapos, andito po yung next steps. First step is, kukuha tayo ng national ID card. Nandyan din po yung form na pwede nating i-download. Number 2, COMELEC Voters ID. Ito po ay napaka-importanteng hakbang dahil gusto ni Chairman Maas na lahat ng miyembro ng MNLF ay registered voter. So please include voters awareness and registration. Go to the nearest COMELEC office, ask for whatever forms need to be filled. Tulungan na po natin yung ating mga members under us to get their COMELEC voters ID. Nandyan din po yung downloadable form nila nakalagay sa comelec.gov.ph. So yung ito po, maaari nyo pong i-cascade sa ating mga communities para madali na lang maintindihan nila ang re-echoing. Sa ating mga participants, kindly give us your email address, your phone number sa chat box para mabigay po namin yung lahat ng re-echoing materials po sa inyo, including the YouTube video link, the re-echo infographic, lahat po ibibigay po namin at yung form for the national ID. Please give us your email address. May secretariat po tayo ngayon na nagre-record ng lahat ng entries nyo po sa chat box. And your mobile number po. So, just so you know, national ID natin ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga members dito sa Mindanao. Pati sa Luzon at Visayas, kailangan na pong mag-register. This is a direct and urgent directive ni Maas po. Finally, we would like to share na may inappoint na po si Maas sa subcommittees ng MNLF and GPH Peace Coordinating Committee. Sa Subcommittee on Socio-Economic, ako po yung head. Sa Security, si Ustad Abdul Karim. Sa Confidence Building, si Attorney Yasser Lumbos. At sa Community Healing and Reconciliation, si Attorney Alongan Dimakaling. Ito po ay nasumite na sa OPAP at naisumite na rin kay Secretary Galvez. May upcoming meeting po kami sa July 27 to discuss steps moving forward between both parties. Please send us your email addresses. And sa mga late na pumasok, pakilagay po ng details ng leadership ninyo, pangalan at location. Sino ang nag-represent po sa inyong kababaihan? We would also appreciate kung may contact po kayo. Okay, so we'll open the floor for question and answers. Kung may mga questions po kayo, you can send sa chat box. Dito po nagtatapos ang ating re-echoing. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Madam Nur-Ainee Tan. Nandyan po siya, nakikinig. Kumuha na rin po siya ng ID. For the first time since 1968. Kumuha na rin po si Madam Roy ng ID. Alhamdulillah. Kasi lahat naman MNLF. We can say we are MNLF. Lahat, that is a valid sentiment. Lahat tayo membro the moment we want to be. Yung ID lang po ay additional identification lang po para madali naming i-document lahat ng interventions on the ground. Madali kaming mag-contact, may mobile number kami, we can send you text messages, updates. This is a way forward to organize. Hindi yung kung wala kang ID, hindi ka na MNLF. Of course not. Of course not. You're MNLF the moment you say you're MNLF. Okay? So, alhamdulillah. Yung mahalaga ay may wisdom ang lahat ng mga directives ng ating Amir, si Chairman Nur Miswari, at lahat ng ito ay para strengthen ng ating parhimpunan, inshallah. Kung may mga questions po kayo, pakilagay lang po sa chat box. Salamat po sa lahat ng nag-forward ng kanilang mga email addresses at ang kanilang mga text message, ang kanilang mobile number so we can easily get in touch with you po. Inda, can we zoom in sa slide yung nandun yung contact details natin? Yung sa MNLF ID form. Kung gusto nyo po kaming ma-contact, i-present po namin ang official email address namin, official phone numbers. Anytime you want to call or text po, you may. I-present po namin ngayon. I think I have it with me. Wait lang. Wait lang. I'll send it here. Please send your questions po sa chat box while I retrieve the file. Sure. Wait lang. He's you. Carlos? Why man Carlos di? Kuningan niya. Di magwa di. Wait lang. Where is it? Where is a chat? MO. Wait lang. Let me check. Here. Okay po. Wait lang. I've asked to unmute you. Kindly accept po. You may speak po.
Ma'am, good afternoon.
Good afternoon po, Sir
Yes,
Carlos.
ma'am. Yes po, ma'am. This is Carlos Novo from Chairman Carlos Novo from Misamis Oriental Sub-State.
Yes po.
Kasi binigyan ako ni ma'am ng link ni Attorney Di Makaling so that we can attend these honorable meetings this afternoon. And then ma'am, I've just informed you na ibibigay ko sa iyo ang yung chairwoman namin dito sa mga babae, si Florabel Goria. Siya yung in charge namin sa women.
Mhm.
Yun yung pangalan niya.
Florabel
Florabel Goria po, ma'am.
Goria. Kindly pakisulat lang po sa chat box kung maaari po, Sir Carlos.
Yes, ma'am. Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. And then yung details po and how we can get in touch with her po. And your
Okay, okay.
email address. Welcome
Yes.
na welcome po kayo, Sir Carlos.
Ma'am, maraming salamat din po sa iyo, ma'am.
Salamat sa pag-attend po. Sorry talaga sa mga technical difficulties po. Yung internet po namin kasi intermittent right now. I hope most of it na record naman po. We will just send you the link sa video po, via email.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you po, ma'am. Saka sana po, ma'am, makontak-kontak din kami dito sa lugar namin sa Cagayan de Oro.
Yes po, inshallah. Si Chairman always mentions Cagayan de Oro din eh. So hopefully after we get our vaccine, maaari na po kaming mag-conduct ng community ocular inspections po. We will make sure na yung CDO one of the states na pupuntahan po namin.
Maraming salamat po, ma'am.
Inshallah. Maraming
Okay.
salamat po, Sir Carlos.
Once again, ma'am, good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon po.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Okay. Wait lang ha. Let me just do the... Wait lang po. I'm retrieving the contact details while we do the question Q&As. Okay. I-present ko lang po sa... Okay, yan po yung official details po namin. Kindly screenshot para ma-contact po niyo kami. And you can give this to everyone. Kasi yung one of the feedback po namin, maraming gustong kumuha ng ID pero hindi lang talaga nila alam kung paano kunin, saan yung forms, ganun. So please screenshot this. Yan po yung point person natin for the MNLF National ID card, for the National Women's Committee at General Membership po. You may also ask for details kung paano po maging member ng MNLF as kahit hindi women po, general membership. Okay? So may mga questions po tayo sa chat. Let me just go over it. Question from Gadungan State about the women, especially from old combatants from Gadungan State. Ano po yung magiging status namin sa mga mangyayari ngayon? So, yung everyone is welcome po. When we are saying we are putting internal systems in place, hindi po yun exclusive sa mga new members or makakalimutan na natin ang mga members natin from before. If anything, it is just to strengthen yung unity and collaborative efforts ng MNLF. So lahat po welcome, and we acknowledge yung mga sacrifices, yung mga efforts po ng lahat ng ating mga women members and leaders. Kahit wala pang for more than 10 years po, medyo may break sa leadership of women within the Central Committee. Kaya si Chairman naman, binigyan na kami ng directive to already put systems in place para yung old, new, lahat who want to become members of the MNLF National Women's Committee ay mabibigyan na po ng proper organization, proper voice, at proper representation na po. So, anong mangyayari? We will be in touch. We will all be part of this organization, and we will work as a collective po. Status quo po tayo sa structure. Hindi yun yung mahalaga ngayon. Kung ano yung position nyo na na-appoint kayo ni Maas, that stays the same. Yung importante ngayon is aayusin ng Central Committee from within ang leadership at management ng ating National Women's Committee. Would there be any payment needed to have the MNF National ID? Yes, officially it's only 260 pesos po. Yun po yung amount per ID that will cover the cost, at some of that portion goes to the National Women's Committee Fund. Yung fund na ito ay subject to the usual accounting and auditing purposes. May mga reportings po kami na ipapalabas once may funds na po tayo. So kung ano yung resources na pumasok, saan siya in-expense, ano yung mga projects na na-support dahil sa mga contributions natin, nandun po lahat sa report. So ito ay panibagong sistema na nilagay natin specifically for the National Women's Committee, kasi ito muna yung unang aayusin po natin. So just remember, whenever you apply for the ID, you're already contributing po to the National Women's Committee Fund. So nandyan po sa form. Kung gusto niyo pong magbigay more to contribute to the local or sa state chair funds, then sa inyo na po, it's all voluntary. Pero to reproduce the ID po, yung na-forward po sa amin is 260 pesos per ID. MashaAllah, 2,500. Ustad Salim, Abdulaziz, MashaAllah. I can't wait to meet them, MashaAllah. It's really amazing. MashaAllah. MashaAllah, nandito yung Mount Kitanglad, Highlander Sub-State. Ma'am Wilma, welcome po. Dito yung Camp Musa. WKSRC District 1, Sangil Province, Balut Island, Chairman Balbino Abo. si Women's Leader Suraida Abo. Welcome po. Meron din po tayo from Kidapawan, Antisit Tivador, Usman. Tapos nandito si Ma'am Florabel, yung sinabi ni Sir Carlos kanina. Welcome po. CDO Antinur Huda, mashallah. From Maguindanao, nandito po yung representative, si Ms. Ma'am Bainila Sinswat. Kung may question pa po tayo, kindly just send po sa chat box. Alam ko busy din po kayong lahat. I don't want to take more of your time po. If you want to speak, just let us know po. We will unmute your mic. Tulad ni Sir Carlos kanina. Officially, tapos na po yung presentation at re-echoing po from our end. Ngayon po, we're just asking to listen to you. MashaAllah, marami sila sa Gadungan State nakikinig. Ma'am Pearl, it's actually different, pero kung may national ID na po kayo from before, that is still valid and recognized until expiry date nila. Ngunit, yung hindi po kayo na nakalagay sa central database ng National Women's Committee, kundi na sa general membership ng MNLF po. Okay? So, I hope that is clear. So, it is actually optional kasi valid naman po yung membership nyo as MNLF. Ngunit kung gusto nyo pong kumuha ng bagong ID, expiry is 3 years starting from 2021. At the same time, gusto nyo pong to also support and contribute sa fund to get that ID, then it's also optional po, ma'am. So, kung may ID na po kayo, hindi pa expired, you can keep that. That is already valid po. If ever my requirements later for any program, for any opportunity, for any rollout programs namin na kailangan may ID as MNLF, that will also be valid po. Optional po. Optional yung women's ID na to kung may national ID na po kayo. Pero in terms of yung which database you belong to, then you belong to the old database po. Pero if there's a requirement moving forward na kailangan nyo ng ID ng MNLF, valid po yung national ID na nandyan na sa inyo. I hope that is clear. Yes po. Sis Nurse Amina, andito po yung shinare ko po kanina. Ito po yung instructions how to contact about the ID, saan ipapadala yung forms. Kung hindi po kayo pwedeng pumunta dito on your own, pwede po through LBC, pwede any courier po. You can send the forms, and you can also talk to Mr. Aldrin Ibrahim. Siya po yung point person. He can give you more instructions kung paano po i-download ang form, kung sino yung mag-fill up at paano ipapadala dito. And isa-send niyo lang po yung address kung saan ipapadala po namin yung IDs once it's printed po. And dyan din po yung email address namin if ever you need yung re-echoing materials, you can request through this email address po. You're welcome po, Ma'am Nurse Amina. Can we also send by text sa chat yung details ni Pa Aldrin? Baka some of them can't see the picture. So meron din tayong rep from Samalbangingi Women's, from Pagadian City, mashallah, may 60 po sila. So yung mga lahat ng nag-attend po, kindly just write yung details where you're from para ma-include po kayo and your representation once we report back to MAAS po. He is always happy when he hears yung mga organized mga camps natin and communities. So please just put the details po dito sa chat box. Ma'am Anang, this is a recorded session. So we will be sending a link to download the recorded video po. So even if you weren't here from the beginning, we'll just edit the video para hindi masyado mahaba, and you can use that as a re-echoing tool sa inyong mga communities po, inshallah. Kung may mga questions pa po kayo, yes, Ma'am Baynila. Pag may local ID po, pwede po bang kumuha ng national ID? Yes po, actually we encourage that kasi hindi po recognized yung local ID at the national level. So kung for example may mga national programs, may mga national rollouts, tapos may mga verification, sometimes nare-receive po namin from government agencies asking if these groups are recognized, if these individuals are recognized. So, kailangan po natin ng national ID. Kasi kailangan naming i-prove na nandito po kayo sa aming database. So, maganda yung local ID for local purposes para ma-identify po kayo ng inyong leader. Pero kailangan po na may coordination sa Central Committee through the national ID database po. So, we highly encourage na lahat ng miyembro kukuha na po ng ID. Po, Sir Long from Mos Cagayan de Oro. If you have given your email address po, ipapadala po namin yung PowerPoint presentation. Kasama po siya sa re-echoing tools. So, ang makukuha po ninyo with your kung maibigay niyo lang po yung email address, may PowerPoint po kayo, may infographic, yung 1 page, yung national ID form ay isa-send din po sa inyo at link sa video ni Chairman po. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah, Auntie Kalthum. MashaAllah, very active po yung Harakatud Da'wa sa Zamboanga, sa Maguindanao, under Ustad Faisal. MashaAllah. Si Ustad Faisal po ay teacher ko nung ako ay elementary pa po. MashaAllah. He taught me Arabic. Siya yung kauna-unahang teacher ko po, si Ustad Faisal Ismail. May Allah preserve him, Allahumma amin. So meron din po tayo si Chairwoman Bay Rohaida Sumagka from Maguindanao. Sister Janna Pinky, mashallah, very staunch supporter from Luzon po. Chairman Anwar Amirol from Lebak Camp. Kung may mga question pa po, si Tinor Faiza, yes po, magkaiba po yung design, pero sa Women's ID, bale yung sa Women's ID po natin may bagong design, tapos nandun na rin po yung logo natin as women. So, it's a nice parang memento and parang it's a milestone for the Parhimpunan po. So, iba po yung design niya. Pero if may ID na po kayo, that's all from the old design and from the old application, hindi pa po expired, that is valid. You are an official member ng MNLF po. You don't need to get the new ID unless you want to contribute to the Women's Committee Fund or gusto mong kukuha ng bagong ID na design, at kung gusto mo nandun yung pangalan niyo po both sa General ID at sa Women's Committee database. Yes, Sir Carlos, I'll unmute you po ngayon. Wait lang. Welcome po, anyone who wants to speak po. Just let me know sa chat. Sir, can you talk po?
Ma'am, again, ma'am, I'm sorry I have questions again, ma'am.
Sure po, sir.
Do you have a guide, ma'am, on the organizational structure to follow in our women's sub-state for our organization?
Right now po, sir, we are researching the current structures in place sa iba't ibang communities. So we will be studying that, and based on that, with proper consultations din po, we will be giving a unified structure to follow. But
Yes, ma'am.
for now, dahil we have to take it easily, and kasi status quo pa tayo ngayon, for now, we are going with what is already in place po. But once we are able to do a proper consultation and lahat ay mag-agree that that is the new structure and approval po ng chairman natin, ikakaskade din po sa ating mga leaders.
Yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat po, ma'am.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Carlos.
Ma'am. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye po. Okay, may question po si Auntie Alambay. I want to say na marami pong mga women leaders natin that are going around. And one of them is Auntie Tata Maglangit and sina Auntie Nur-Ainee, Auntie Norma Pasandalan, yung mga old guards po natin ever since sa parhimpunan. So lahat po ng mga efforts for re-echoing, that is very much acknowledged and we are very much appreciative. Hindi po madali ang mag-risk ng ating health, especially pandemic ngayon. So maraming mga women leaders natin na napaka-active and they're willing to take that risk after having vaccinated and taking proper precautions dahil gusto na nga talaga nila na ma-organize ang ating mga kababaihan. So I hope you will accept lahat ng mga representatives na napili po kasi lahat sila ay approved ni chairman. Lahat ng representations na naka-attend sa ating program po 2 weeks ago. And the chairman also gave me the mandate at directives na binigay na sa akin binigay na sa akin yung order to help fix and to help organize the women. So any efforts, if my authority from me, my advice from the chairman, that is you can easily confirm po with me. So like for example, yung mga like Auntie Alambay, sina Auntie Tata Maglangit, sina Auntie Nurhuda Simpal, sina Auntie Pinky, sina Auntie Oki, si Sis Asia Lagawa, basta we have 20 who came, and also from the island provinces, sina Ma'am Anang, Auntie Radda, sina Auntie Feraiza, si Ustada Mayra Apian from Zamboanga, si Karsum from Zamboanga, Auntie Suras ni Abubakar from Holo, and from Tawi-Tawi rin si Ma'am Aurora Ahiri. Okay? Marami pa kasing mga women leaders na hindi naka-attend dahil nga sa pandemic restrictions. It's not because they were excluded. Kahit yung representative natin from Davao couldn't make it kasi 5 provinces lang yung quota, as much as we wanted to include everyone. So, wag po kayong mag-isip na wala kayong space or wala kayong role to play. We're just beginning. Ang dami pa po tayong kailangan gawin and marami pa po tayong mga activities sa susunod na mga araw. So I hope inshallah that is clear. Let us accept everyone. Right now we need unity. We need to support one another and we need to give space for everyone. Okay? Inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us and may God give us, tawfiq and grant us yung intention natin ay maganda para sa ating mga communities at societies. So my question po, do we need to forward the list of our organized women to central office? Actually, sir, I think this is the reason why we're asking for the ID kasi that's already forwarding your members po. So once you apply for the national ID, that is already your submission of your memberships. So we are actually tracking memberships under each leader po na nagfo-forward sa amin. So for example, if Cagayan de Oro will be able to forward 200, 300 women. So we are tracking how many members per area po. So that kasi you have to understand, importante po yung data sa decision making. So we have limited resources. We have to make sure na we are managing those resources properly. So part of that identification of communities, ano yung interventions, yung ano yung programa na i-roll out. Importante po yung identified MNLF communities, and you cannot have communities without people, and you cannot have people without identification. Yun po yung point ni Maas. Kaya valid lahat nagsasabi MNLF ako, you are MNLF. Heart, mind, spirit. Subhanallah, kayo po yung nag-fuel na continued ang struggle natin for 53 years. Kahit hindi po kayo kumuha ng ID, you will always be MNLF. That is true and that is a fact. Ito po is optional. If you want to have an identification, to be affiliated officially with the MNLF, na may proof po kayo to show others. Sa sarili nyo, alam nyo na MNLF kayo. This is just an additional identification for others and for other purposes po. So I hope that answers po, Sir Plong. So yung pagkuha po ninyo ng ID is already your forwarding of that list. Kasi sa database, we will be putting yung referral. For example, it would be under Sir Carlos, for example. So lahat ng women under the referral of Sir Carlos, nandun po under his name. Parang ganon. Sis Auntie Hairana, you may still fill up kasi yung yan naman, may community consultation questionnaire po kami. Napakahalagang data po yan para sa amin. We have over 1,500 entries na po. And yan po yung pulse ng ground. Sinasabi niyo po sa amin ano yung problema ninyo, ano yung priority projects na kailangan ninyo, at saan na may representation ng MNLF as community. So keep filling up that form. I keep receiving it po. Okay? Yung link naman yan, isasend din po namin sa email po na ibigay ninyo. Ang community consultation questionnaire po is open to everyone under the banner of the MNLF. At mga questions po doon ay something na hindi lang profiling, kundi tinatanong po namin ano yung mga security issues ninyo, ano yung development issues po ninyo. That way, that gives us an idea, ano yung mga kailangan naming bigyan ng priority. Inshallah. So you may say, the link is still open po. Yes, yung ID form po, ito yung gagamitin natin sa profiling po, Auntie Anang. You're welcome po. Sir Plong, we can actually have, kasi i-organize din po natin yung youth eh. So actually walang age restriction sa pagkuha ng ID. I think it starts at 12 years old ba? What's the youngest who we accepted? Merong mga bata. Okay. According to our national ID in charge, meron din po kahit mga bata. Yung mga anak, ina-applyan na po nila. So wala pong age restriction according to MAAS if you want to. Kasi may ina-organize din po namin yung youth ngayon eh. So baka later on pati children. Pero yung gusto talaga ni MAAS is women and youth. And when he speaks of women, he always says children. So it seems like we are able to give IDs even to children po. That's okay. You can also use it to travel and as an identification as well, additional. So thank you for that question. I also wasn't aware of that as well. Yes po, Ma'am Nur Hassan. Oh, sorry. Ma'am Plong po. Sorry. Okay po. May question pa po ba? For those who have other appointments po, you may we will be wrapping up soon naman. Pero I just want to give the opportunity to everyone before we close the session po. Sure. Okay lang po ba na mag-picture po tayo as a group? Kindly turn on your cameras po. We will keep answering questions, pero baka may kailangan na pong umalis. At least may group picture po muna tayo. Please turn on your cameras. Tapos yung orientation ko po, kung pwede yung naka-horizontal para pare-pareho po. Hindi yung naka-ganon, hindi portrait. Pero tulad ng camera ko po, if you don't mind, para maganda siya tingnan as a group. Ganyan po. Yung pahaba. Yan. Thank you very much sa mga nag-adjust. Para lang po maganda tingnan kasi hindi maganda kung yung iba ganyan, yung iba portrait. MashaAllah. That's beautiful. MashaAllah. Tinitingnan ko po kayo. MashaAllah, ang dami. Anong group to? Yung 1EJD. MashaAllah. La quwwata illa billah. Sir Monk, may we ask for closing remarks po from you after the picture taking? Okay, so are you ready, Inday, to take the picture? Okay, so count of 3 po. Magpipicture tayo. Okay, beautiful smiles. 1, 2, 3, smile. Kak Dayang, I'm looking at you right now, Kak Dayang Mayra. And Karsum, 1, 2, 3, smile. MashaAllah, ang gaganda ng mga smiles niyo. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So, to end po, let's hear our state chairman, si Chairman Monk. May mga updates din po siya. Always kami nagkikita dito sa Davao. One of the most trusted ni Chairman Maas po. So, Chairman Monk, kindly deliver our closing remarks po para ma-inspire ang ating mga kababaihan.
Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Lahat ng mga brothers and sisters. Dali ha. Marinig ako dyan?
Loud and clear po, sir.
Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Halo, assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nakamute po, sir.
Nakamute sila. Pero ako marinig ako dyan.
Yes po, loud and clear po.
Okay. This is our new advocacy. Nakikita nyo, nandyan ang pangalan na Omega sa taas. One Movement for Egalitarian Advocacy. Gusto ni Maas, nandyan pa rin tayo sa federalism. Kaya reflected ang advocacy ng women's. The women empowerment, ikayatin lahat ng pamilya na magrehistro on this forthcoming election. Kailangan registered voters, kailangan din yung national ID, kasi may mga plano si Maas na kung ano man ang plano niya, susundin na lang natin. I cannot just disclose some of the plans because inaayos pa namin. So we're moving forward to a direction. Nandun pa rin yung federalism natin. Our only hope. But it depends upon the President at saka si Maas kung ano ang mapag-usapan nila on the forthcoming schedule ng closed door meeting nila dalawa. So Davao Peninsula is mobilizing sa women's natin, sa mga kababaihan natin to participate in this very successful program of Nur-Ainee. So mabuhay po kayo, ma'am, for these initiatives o lahat ng mga women's, mga kababaihan. This is a very good opportunity for us. We have to participate talaga kung ano man ang programa. Ito panahon ni Presidente Duterte, samantalahin natin ang bagiang friendship ni Maas at saka ni Presidente. So whatever the directives of the President, susundin natin kasi sila ang nakaalam. So nandito tayo, nagtrabaho, halos araw-araw nakikita kami ni Maas, diyan si Ma'am Nur-Ainee. Para sa ating lahat ng Moro, sa Moro National Liberation Front at sa mga kasama pa natin, Mindanao, Bangsamoro Territory, Visayas at saka Luzon. So, naka-keep in touch tayo, heads up lahat for our objectives to gain and to have a change system of government. Dito sa Omega, talaga sinasabi dito ang pagtutulak ng federalismo, kailangan mapalitan ng sistema. So, kailangan natin ang participation ng lahat. Please register your vote and we will cast votes pagdating ng election para manalo tayo. So, hindi ko na masyado pahagain. Maraming salamat for this opportunity to be part of this women's program. So nakakaingit ang mga women's, kakaingit kayo, sana naging babae din ako eh. So yun na lang ma'am. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you po, sir. Thank you very much po, sir. Thank you. And I hope we realize na may boses ang lahat ng Moro National Liberation Front. We will exhaust all possible means and ends para marinig po ang ating hinihiling for the good of this nation and under the leadership of Maas. Thank you so much po, Sir Monk. And to finish po, I would like to introduce you to Inda Nureda Miswari. Anak po siya ni Madam Tarhata Ibrahim and Chairman Maas. And siya po ang mag-o-organize po ng youth ng ating kababaihan. So dapat, sabi ni Maas, generational po ang pag-organize natin. At hindi pwede na yung may disconnect sa ating mga kabataan. Kailangan i-reorient po sila ang historical context ng MNLF. Dapat alam nila ang kanilang mga identity, ang kanilang mga ethnicity, at they have to feel proud sa mga sacrifices of the past that gave them the opportunities that they have now. So yan po ang layunin ng MNLF National Women's Committee Youth Sector. So Inda, I will unmute you po if you can give them a few minutes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Parang ngayon pa lang, marami na akong nakikitang mga youth na nag-attend. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So we're very excited po to really be involved ngayon na sa ating parhimpunan and make sure na there is continuity sa ating goals and maksud na ating parhimpunan, which is the Moro National Liberation Front. And grabe ang energy ng youth ngayon. And inshallah, we will provide po the roadmap. Inaayos pa namin yung roadmap ng youth and kung ano yung plans later on. And we will provide the announcements. Just keep in touch po. And I think we will also start na rin mag-ask sa mga women leaders natin for some guidance on how we're going to connect with the youth, talk to them, and ask what they want, what they need. So, inshallah pa, we will be able to work together as a team, inshallah. Thank you po. Assalamualaikum.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. At the end of the day, gusto nang siguro ni Maas na yung lahat ng sacrifices ng 53 years ay hindi makakalimutan. Bigyan natin ng halaga. For years and decades to come, inshallah. So, alhamdulillah po, kami ay so happy at kami ay overwhelmed sa inyong support and attending this re-echoing session. Napaka-happy po namin. We were expecting yung konti lang kasi it's online. Pero look, yung iba nag-organize pa ng groups. MashaAllah. So, yan ang testament na yung tayo ay nandyan to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to serve God, to serve our communities, to serve people. This is beyond one person. This is beyond our own needs. We want a nation that gives justice and equitable opportunities, that is inclusive para lahat ng mga anak natin mas marami ang opportunities nila. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may God give us the strength, the tawfiq, at sana yung mga hearts natin will always be united for the good of everyone, inshallah. So maraming salamat po. Kung may mga question pa po kayo, you may contact us sa mga numbers and sa email po. I will also send my personal number sa chat box po so that you can contact me anytime related to anything po. If you want to report anything, if you want to tell me yung mga activities ninyo, anything you want to send kay Chairman Maas, you may also send it to my via text message or sa secretariat email po na isa-send ko sa chat box. Kindly save it. So you may contact me po so that we can already close the session. Please save this for your future reference, and kung yung mga walang time or nag-conflict po yung schedule so they couldn't make it today, kindly also forward to them my official contact po. Salam doa to everyone. Bismikallahumma bihamdik, asyhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I will convey your salam and Nur Huda kanama inshallah. Maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat.